Hey gang, how's it going? Chomp the Good Dog with our TGD AMA, and Amber Schorpp, I hope I've got the name right, is asking what's the best approach for moving to a new location and being set up to when you get to the new location, you're kind of ready to roll. And once you get there, what do you need to do? This is a pretty common question, actually. It's something I've actually done myself, being located in Los Angeles for, you know, 15 years, and then trying to branch out and move into another location in New Orleans. So I had to actually do this myself. And so my very first thing that I'd recommend, which is probably the hardest and the one that gets the most resistance from people because there's so much work and there's so much time involved with it, but it creates so much freedom and enables so many, a lot of so's, enables so many different things, avenues to pursue and opportunities that come from that. And that is brand. Building a brand, building a name, reputation that folks recognize. And so wherever you happen to be, as you move to a new location, folks go, oh, it's that person. Oh, it's that brand. It's that company. And so you already have trust built in. And so that's really what we're looking at. And anytime we're talking about marketing, promoting, sales, anything like that, we're talking about two simple things. Can people find you? Can they trust you? That's really what it comes down to. So the cool thing about having a great brand is that it can kind of do both of those things for you, which is they can find you, because if you're doing a good job with your brand, then you're promoting it, advertising it, and people are seeing it because you're putting content out and all sorts of stuff. And then if you're doing a good job with your content, with your brand, then you also get the trust. So it kind of kills both those birds with one stone. But it involves a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of content creation, and a lot of folks struggle with that. A lot of folks nervous about creating videos, don't feel qualified to be writing posts, writing blogs, or even just Facebook posts or Instagram posts, things like that, or shooting how-to videos, things like that. That stuff will create amazing traction for people becoming interested in you and building a brand and building trust and confidence in you, but you have to put yourself out there. So the first recommendation is brand building. So when I started to come to New Orleans, and I would, post up on Facebook and say, hey, I'm coming to New Orleans, I'll be there for 2 weeks, I'm available for board and trains and some one-on-ones, blah, 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 or workshops. The brand already had done the legwork for me, built enough awareness of who I was, and built enough trust that I could actually pop in for a couple of weeks and I could be booked out and be training dogs and making money and doing the work and building the business and building word of mouth and all that stuff. So first and foremost, I'm always going to go with brand because I feel it gives you the most of everything. And I will also say it's the hardest, which is why so many folks don't do it. But that's my number one recommendation. And I've literally lived it. And now here I am in New Orleans. I've moved from one location as my primary to now this is my primary location by doing exactly what I just shared with you. Tons and tons and tons, daily content creation, building the brand, building the trust, building the awareness, all of that stuff till you get to the point where you got traction, you got business, you got regular sales, and things are booming. So that's one thing. Other stuff you can do Facebook targeted ads, where you could do a graphic, and you could do graphics. You can do a whole series, a campaign of them, and these graphics can say, hey, I'm coming to, moving in whatever, moving in 2 months to whatever location, and renowned dog training services, whatever, however you would want to word it, renowned dog trainer, bringing their services to your area, now taking, early signups for a waiting list for when I do arrive. I mean, you can get super creative with it, however you want to do it. I would do graphics, I would do videos, I would do all sorts of content, and with the content focused on, for one, creating awareness with the graphics, right? Telling people who you are, giving people insight into the story of who you are so they can get a feel for your personality and your philosophy and all that stuff. Sorry about the loud birds. But then I would also do a ton of videos showing the actual work, before and afters, show the results, let people see the kind of work that you can do. Um, Share some posts that are written out with your philosophy and how you would recommend clients best succeed and um, best process, comprehend, and pursue success with their dogs, things like that. And then what you can do is you can target those ads to the area that you're going to be going to. And you can do it within different, radius. You can do it within a 10-mile radius. You can do it within a 50-mile radius. So you can target these ads to where they're hitting all these spots before you ever get there. Another thing I would do, of course, Instagram is also super popular. I know less about Instagram targeting, but I would already be on Instagram and then just so you can create more awareness and more traction, because so many eyeballs are on Instagram, and just it's a good place to be. And so beyond that, building a website and having that website done with somebody that really knows what they're doing with SEO, so all sorts of, all the fancy stuff behind the scenes, meta tags and keywords and things like that that are built into your website, that is already established before you get there, so it's already building traction. Even if you can't take clients, you can still, if somebody reaches out and you can say, hey, I'm 2 months out. If you can wait for me for 2 months, maybe I'll give you a discount or something like that if you're willing to wait for the 2 months. Otherwise, I'll be there and da 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 da. But regardless of clients maybe seeing a website and reaching out and you not being able to be there, which you could, kind of like I was doing, which was going back and forth. You could, if you had the finances and the time, go back and forth and spend a couple days or a couple weeks in the new location and get your feet wet and get people familiar with you. So getting that website going like that, as far as just getting people to start responding to you. But also it takes time to build your Google rankings and getting your SEO rocking and rolling. And so things like, and once again, it comes back to content, because one of the things that Google incentivizes is, are you putting up fresh content on your website? And so you can have an automated program to where you shoot a video or post a graphic or post some text with just some advice, some suggestions, whatever it might be, and that automatically uploads to your website, which automatically keeps Google going, I like your style, kid. You're putting up new stuff. So that helps with your rankings. It helps with when people are searching in your area, and that's why you need people that know what they're doing with SEO and all the keywords and all that stuff, to where when they search, you're showing up hopefully on the first page, and hopefully within, not at the very bottom of it, but hey, you work your way up. Anyways, so those are some basics, right? So content creation, brand awareness by creating content, by putting yourself out there, by spreading the word about your philosophy, being super transparent about all of this stuff. Your philosophy, your personality, your training approach, your training results, what you're about, and putting all that stuff out there. We've got this opportunity in this moment in the world where we can actually publish and post and get all this information out in front of so many people for very little money, things that we never really had the opportunity to do before. So those would be my primary suggestions. I hope that's helpful. There's a multitude of other things you can do, but that's a good start. All right, thanks.